Hey everybody, welcome to the BS Gear Show. I'm Brent Schlemmer. Thanks for tuning in tonight. Got a quick little show for you tonight. We're going to use this as a companion piece to the new show that I'm doing on Mondays, every Monday at 5 o'clock. We're going to be doing a basic guitar class right here on B&B TV. So you'll want to tune in for that if you've got any inclination whatsoever to start playing guitar. Maybe learn a few things if you already play. So the first thing that you need to learn how to do when you play is how to tune that guitar. So here's what we're going to do tonight. We're going to talk about a couple of different ways to make your tuning easier. So first off, let's talk about simple things that you can grab. Clip-on tuners. Clip-on tuner. That little guy, worth every penny of the about $20 they cost. Go out and grab you one. This is my particular preferred one. I don't remember what they call this. It's called the Snark. The Snark. There's a couple different versions of it out there, but you can find them on sale for around $12-13. They're super cheap. I know tons of pros that use these. Lots of people. It just clips on the headstock of your guitar. You push the button. It reads what you're playing. It tells you whether it's in tune and which direction to go. That is as simple as it gets. Go out and get yourself one of these. Worth every penny. If you don't have one, go grab one. This is going to be the basis of how we're going to start. So I'm going to go ahead and tune this little guitar that I've got. Right now it's not in tune at all. Not in tune at all. So we're going to go ahead and clip this on the headstock. You can see it just clips on right there. It's got a little clampy thing that you just squeeze it and it clips on there. Now I'm going to turn this around so you guys can see what's going on. Now you've got 6 strings on your guitar. From low to high, it should be E, A, D, G, B, E. Low string. So I always start at the top. I go top down when I tune. It's just the way that I do it. There's really not any rhyme or reason to that. But so here. So this top string should be E. You can see that it says E, but do you see that has that little red line there? Now as I turn that up, so I make it tighter. See how as it creeps towards, there's the blue line in the middle. That means you're in tune. Next string is B. Ooh, we're flat there. A sharp. So we crank that up a little bit till we see that. Oh, see, that's not in tune. That's A sharp. We need B. So we got to keep going. See how it goes up? Oh, then it kicks over to B. If you go too far, just back it off a little bit. Most of the time what you want to do is you want to actually come up to the pitch. If you overshoot like I did there, and then you just bring it down till it's in tune. If you do any kind of bend, now it's going to be flat again. That's because you left it with no tension. You were reducing the string winding and the tension. You want to come up with tension. See how that's still in tune now? Now next one is G. Oh, we're almost there. It's very close. Oh, went over. So go back down below and come back up again. That going down in tension is a very common mistake that a lot of beginners make. That makes their guitar go out of tune really quick. A few good hard strums on a string that's been dropped in tension will have a tendency to go flat real quick as soon as you start playing. Next one is D. As you can see, we're super flat on that one. So we have to go past the C sharp till we find the D. There it is. Up, overshot, so back down below. Tuning very carefully, just a little tiny fluid motion. Next string is A, flat as well. Nice fluid motion up to the pitch, very slowly, continuously picking. There it is. And then E for the bottom one. Pretty close. There's your E. Now, you should be all in tune, but because you changed the tension of all of those strings, you might want to start over and check it again. So we're going to go back to the top and go back to our E again. See how that's still a little flat? That's because the other strings needed more tension. There's my E. B. Also a little bit flat because we're adding tension. That's pulling the whole guitar down just a little bit. G's right there. D needs a little help. A's right on. E's right on. So now we should be in tune. Now, a couple of things. There are other ways to check. You don't have that tuner, and you're playing alone, and you don't really need to match anybody else's pitches. There's a way to tune this guitar without using a tuner, just by matching the pitches. Basically, what you have to do is you have to decide which string is in tune. Most of the time, the easiest thing to do is go, that low string's right. We'll just call it right, whether it is or not. So you go up to your 5th fret, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's usually second dot on most guitars. If you match that pitch to the next string open, they should match. And then, because we tuned, of course they match. Same thing for the next one over. Those should match. 5th fret. Now, when you get to those top 2 strings, you have to do this one little shift. So you go to the 4th fret for this 3rd string here. 4th fret matches 2nd string. And then again back to the 5th for the last one. Now, if you're a little more advanced, you can use the harmonic style of tuning, which is where you play the harmonic. Now, that's a little bit esoteric for a beginner, but when you're playing guitar, if you just touch the string at, say, the 12th fret is the easiest place to show you this example. You can play that note by just touching right at the fret, not in the middle, but right where the bar fret is. Now, if you do that 5th fret on the lowest string, and you do 7th fret on the 5th string, those should match. Same way across. Those should match. Those should match. Now, remember how we had that weird spot in the other one where it was like, oh, you have to go to the 4th. Well, now you have to match 7th fret, lowest string, with 12th fret, 2nd string. And then you're back to 5th fret, 5th fret. That sounds a little flat to me. Now, you can hear that. That's a little more accurate way to tune than to go. Because you can actually hear the tone beating if it's out of tune. Let me give an example. I'm going to detune this D string here, 4th string. Now, if we do the listen through, you can hear they don't quite match. If you do the harmonic version, do you hear how it beats? Wah, 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 wah. As they get closer, those beats get slower. Let me get a good hit. Now we're at. Whoa, 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 whoa. Now we're really close. Woo, 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 woo. Very close. You want that beating to stop. As you get really close, it's hard to hear because it might go, ba. That's a very, very close to being in tune. And as you go past it, it'll do the same thing. That beat will get faster the further you are away. Let's see how I did. Oh, I guess that turned itself off. Nerk. Pretty close. So there you go. 3 different tuning methods. The easiest one obviously being the good old Snark. I do have another style of tuner we can talk about here real quick. It's the same kind of thing. It's a headstock clip. This is the Fishman. Now, let me see if I can turn that one around so you can see it as well while I clip it on. The Fishman has a slightly different display style. We're going to be upside down for you because that's not made to work that direction. This one just turns yellow when you're flat, red when you're sharp, and green when you're right on tune. And you can see that there's a slight discrepancy between the 2 different tuners. There we go. So there are a couple of different styles out there you can find. Like I said, the most common one and the easiest one to latch onto is the good old Snark, which I lost. There it is. The good old Snark. That one is super common. You can find them everywhere. Sam Ash, any guitar store you go into is going to have probably a bin of these right at the counter where you can just buy one. They are absolutely worth their weight in gold. I personally own probably 3 or 4 of these. They live in every case. They clip on every guitar. You can easily find them out there in the wild, and they are absolutely worth their weight in gold. So go get you one, and stay in tune, folks. Stay in tune. This has been Brent Schlemmer hanging out here for the BS Gear Show. I will see you guys on Monday for my new guitar lesson class, if you're so inclined. 5 o'clock, B&B TV. Come check it out. I will see you guys next time.